Hey, it's a Humble Collector here, and in today's video we're looking at another death card, but this time it's actually a World War I death card, which I don't believe we've really covered on this channel up to this point. Some of the interesting things about World War I death cards, they generally have a lot more information on them than World War II ones do, which you'd think would make them easier to research, but unfortunately in this one I couldn't really find a whole lot. We'll talk about that when we get there. If you're unsure what a death card is, I kind of usually go over it every video, but I think I've made enough of these videos at this point. I'm going to start doing that explanation at the end, because most people who see these are probably aware what they are. But on the first panel here, we have a picture of a German soldier and Mary, and it says, "With the love of a mother, I comfort you." And then on the inside here, Christian souvenir of the virtuous Fungling, which I'm not sure what that means actually. It was translating, Google Translate as 5-man, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So if anybody knows what that is, let me know down in the comments. But Ferdinand Wieser here. Farmer's son from Guffelham. And something about Margarettenburg. I couldn't figure out what the PF is an abbreviation for. But he was a soldier with the 3rd Infantry Regiment. And he died on November of 1917 in a POW camp in Sipote, Romania, in the 22nd year of his life, and died a heroic death for the fatherland. Pretty standard on these kinds of cards. Interestingly enough, I wasn't super familiar with Romania's role in World War I. I'm sure many of you aren't either, so I'm going to kind of go through that real quick here. I made some notes, but basically, Romania entered the war on August 27th, 1916. They declared war on Austria-Hungary. The reason that they entered the war is they wanted Transylvania. Transylvania had a very large Romanian population, so they ended up joining the war on the side of the Entente and got a lot of support from Russia. And, things were going fairly well in the beginning. Later on, as Russia kind of collapsed and, the Germans sent more and more reinforcements down there, even though they had some defensive victories, eventually they end up surrendering at the Peace of Bucharest in May of 1918. Now, of course, Ferdinand here died in a POW camp in November of 1917. I looked up Sipote, Romania. It's a region in Romania, but I couldn't find anything about a POW camp or any kind of military installation there. So if anybody maybe from Romania is more familiar with that region and the history, I'd love to hear about it, because I really wasn't able to find a whole lot. But as I said, Romania was forced to sign the Peace of Bucharest in May of 1918. Interestingly enough, the Parliament signed it, and part of this, besides stopping fighting, was they were going to give some land to, some of the Central Powers. And the king just didn't sign it, apparently. And I guess the Central Powers were okay with that. I didn't dig too deep into it yet. I'm probably going to do that in the future, though, hopefully when I get more time. But basically, he was just kind of waiting to see if maybe the Western Allies would manage to get some kind of victory. And sure enough, he held off signing it, and Romania rejoined the war officially on November 10th, 1918. Which obviously is the day before Armistice Day. So yeah, Romania joined literally the last second after surrendering in May, and ended up getting to sit at the victor's table, and actually ended up getting Transylvania at the Treaty of Versailles. So pretty it worked out pretty well for them in the end, I guess. They ended up getting what they went to war for, which you can't really say for a lot of people involved in World War I. But moving down to the large wall of text here, the duty called me out to war. With God, I went for my parents' house. I fought for and on, when I was miles in a strange place, and I was looking forward to seeing you again when war and storm come to an end. But the gentleman did it differently and picked me up from there. I'm guessing gentleman here refers to God. Now I rest in a strange earth, and I am with God in the Father's house. I don't know anything about war and earthly suffering, and I am freed from all cares. That is why my loved ones always need it. What God does is done. And then at the bottom here, dear heart of Jesus, be my love. Dear heart of Mary, be my rescue. And then on the back here, we have a picture of Jesus crucified with consummatum est, or it is consummated, which is, Jesus' last words on the cross. But yeah, overall, very interesting death card. It led me to research Romania's role in World War I a little bit, which I didn't know anything about. And yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Like I said, I couldn't really find anything on the 3rd Infantry Regiment or that actual POW camp. But yeah, hopefully some more information will come to light in the future. And yes, so for those of you who aren't aware of what death cards are, because I said I'd cover this at the end of the video here. Death cards, they were kind of like a funeral practice in Germany from like the late 1800s through like the mid 1900s. Basically, they were cards that you would, give to family and friends, after the deceased passed away. And, they were just a way to remember them by. So what's interesting for, like, militaria collectors and historians is that generally, for those who were, for soldiers killed in combat, you can sometimes glean a little bit of information about them, sometimes even trace them to particular units. That's kind of one of the fun things of doing these translations is, hopefully, if somebody is doing research about particular battlefields or particular campaigns and stuff, maybe through research, they'll be able to find some of these guys and actually be able to use them in whatever work they're doing, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting, and I will see you all again very soon.